Micah's show?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we saw our technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It happens to everybody.
Unfortunately, I missed it. I was there for like Respect the Locals, but then the girls kind of getting sick, so I was like, damn. I was very excited to see you. I saw you guys at the CrossFit.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, that was actually that was a great show.
That'll put us on the map.
I thought that was a great show. That was literally our first that was our first public show.
We played Thursday for our first gig, and it was really hot. And it sucked.
Yeah, and it was chopped.
Yeah, it was so bad.
It was sick.
Yeah, that lineup. What a great lineup it was, bro. The EP Jumbo EP release.
Can you do my bracelets on my shirt?
Yeah.
It's
It was just
stuck.
a good time. Yeah, I got you. For us to like. Also, those when
it
we
was
wrote
fun,
the
and the
four.
crowd.
Do you want me to?
was
Do you want me to rip it off?
No,
and
there should be. It's
the
just
two power
hooked. So
ones.
just spin the disc thing.
I can't remember what you
There you go.
Thank you.
No problem. I don't think I ripped it.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Okay, which camera? Which one?
Probably this one.
Okay.
Yeah. This will just be like a little.
The silly one?
Side. Don't look at this one.
Okay, I won't look at the silly one. Hello, we are Modern View. My name is Thatcher, and I play guitar and I sing.
My name's Madeline, and I play lead.
I'm Brock. I play bass and I scream on some of our tracks. My name is Damon. I am the drummer and I sing sometimes.
This is true.
What's the deal? How was this band filmed?
So we all went to the same high school. Madeline, myself, and Damon are in the same grade. Brock was two ahead of us. We've all graduated since then, but so we all met in our band and jazz band. That's really where we kind of like got to know each other, and so the summer of our junior year, going into senior year, or actually no, going into our junior year, was it? No, senior. So yeah, going into our senior year, Damon hits me up on Instagram and he just goes. After I posted a Stone Temple Pilots song on my note, he's just like, "Hey, let's start a band," and I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, let's let's do that." So then that's kind of how it formed, and we had another bassist, and then I hit up Madeline and Brock about playing bass, and then they both said yes, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Madeline's also cracked at guitar. Why don't we just all four play, make it a four-piece?" And then that's kind of what happened.
Why is music important to you?
Music is important to me because it is a way that I cope with like emotions and stuff like that in a healthy way and like kind of produce something. It's also just super fun to do, you know.
As someone who's been kind of always a perfectionist, music is kind of a laid-back thing for me that I get to like pursue without the fear of just failing, because it's so subjective that like no one can really tell you if you're right or wrong, and that's kind of always been nice to me. And I've gotten most of my connections through music and my mentors, and I mean, that's something you can't really replace with anything else, so it's been pretty sweet. I've had it for most of my life, so yeah, I don't know what I'd do without it.
Music is my entire life right now. I dropped out of college last semester to pursue this, hopefully full time, but I don't know. I've always had an ear for music, and I've always tried to like incorporate it into my life some way or another. And now I want it to be something more serious.
Music has always been important to me. I've been playing drums since I was about 3 or 4 years old. Listened to just classic rock for the past 15, 16 years. Got into kind of like grunge when I was about 16, 17. I really enjoyed Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, and then it wasn't until around this time of year, last year, one of my buddies introduced me to the whole, not exactly emo, but we'll call it emo music. And that's where I found the bands I listen to now, so Title Fight, Midriff, Narrowhead. And so those bands really have, I guess, helped me grow as a person. I've sort of morphed my personality around music now, which I think is cool because I've met a lot of cool people I met my best friends in the whole world. I've made so many memories and done a lot of really cool things because of music. So that's why music is important to me.
What is your guys' favorite animal native to Southwest Missouri?
Oh gosh, my favorite animal? I don't even... Southwest Missouri.
I have one.
Do you have one? Yeah, you can go ahead.
My favorite is the ladybug. Just because, I vibe with the ladybug a lot.
Say probably the otter because it's really cute.
Southwest Missouri?
Yes, we have otters here, bro. We really do. We do.
Where?
No way.
In the water.
Yes. No. We do. We do have otters here. I've seen them.
My favorite is probably just crappie because I really like to eat fried crappie. Crappie? It's a fish. Yeah, I love fried crappie. My grandpa makes killer fried crappie.
Bobcat. Yeah.
How has being from Southwest Missouri affected you guys and your music? Essentially, the band's come up this far.
I say the location kind of influences our music because I feel like there's a giant emo scene growing in our area. We don't play that, so I love hearing that, and I love hearing like the melodies that they come up with, and I feel like it kind of like the vibe that they bring to shows is what influences our music a lot in terms of the local area, because they bring some crazy energy to those shows. So I feel like we kind of can hang out and vibe. I mean, we're also just tight with all the people here, so we kind of all like hang out and we kind of just talk about music and stuff like that. And I feel like that's kind of how it like affects it. Is it? Yeah. Absolutely.
I'd say whenever we kind of started, I didn't really know that there was much of a scene. I knew a couple people that were in a band, but I thought it was just like, just a hobby and not necessarily like a bigger thing. And I guess once we played at the Crawl Space, and maybe even before that, we went to Blackthorn to see a couple of our friends play. And then I was like, oh wow, there's actually like a lot of really cool people. There's a whole different side of Joplin that we never really saw before we were in the scene. And so, like you said, that definitely influenced us to hardcore hit it and be like, okay, this is what we want to do. We need to get this recorded and put our music out there to join the scene.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of bands before this. It was nothing really like that I wanted to start going into like super heavy, because I never thought that like I could like pursue music as like a career. I guess I've always thought it would be like a hobby for me. Like it was always something that I was like super interested in, but I never thought it would go as far as like recording music. And like this is definitely the farthest I've ever made it. I've had previous bands flop. I actually started playing in Joplin for my grandpa's band, the Cow Tippers. I was a fill-in bassist for them, and it was like 3 old dudes, and then I was 16 years old playing bass for them, and I was in like the smoky bars and shit. It was crazy. Yeah, I do some of my own solo stuff, and I'm in another band outside of this one, and I think I just didn't see the opportunity that there was before, but there's definitely a growing music scene here, and it's been really fun. A very fun year for me as far as music goes, I think. So.
Yeah, I think we're pretty grateful that, we're pretty lucky that, for how small Joplin is, how big, how many bands we have has been really nice. We're really grateful for, the mentorship we've been shown by some other bands. Shout out Violets Are Blue and Halftime Show and all them, Brand-Sided. Just, I guess because we're a pretty young band, just how open they are to us, and that's been pretty awesome. Because and the guidance, that's definitely kind of jump-started a lot of stuff for us, and very grateful for that. So Joplin just has a great community for that kind of stuff. So shout out to them.
Yeah, we would not have recorded music if it was not for Halftime Show telling us to just do it. I remember that same Crawl Space show, I was like, yeah, I kind of want to record, but I don't know what to do. And then Halftime Show, they were just like, just do it. Just literally just hit up Derek Trash. Also shout out Derek Trash for recording it, the entire thing. Yeah. So yeah, just the community here is I think legitimately however corny it is like no other out there. It's seriously. Yeah, it's seriously nothing else.
Can you tell us a secret?
A secret. a couple years ago, I wrecked my sister's soon-to-be car that had no title and no insurance or anything. I hit a deer with it, and I was under the influence. Yeah. No. Shit happens.
Secret. I still sleep with a stuffed animal at night. Like, not that I have to, but like, not that I couldn't go without it, but it's my choice.
A secret? Oh gosh, a secret. I play VR chat sometimes. Some people watch.
I don't know. I don't know if it's really a secret. I used to not like Thatcher very much. Freshman and sophomore year, I didn't really have a reason. I just didn't like anybody. That's a lot of maturity, I think. Being a senior, I guess last year, and with music, I sort of just was like, you know what? Just because we have some differences, he likes music, I like music, we can be friends, and now we're the best of friends. So yeah, I don't know if that's really a secret, but that's definitely a life lesson there. You can always have an in-between and meet some really cool people.
What's the stinkiest place in Joplin, Missouri?
Like smell-wise or like aura-wise?
Well, stinky or stanky?
Ooh.
That too, bro.
That's the question.
Let's go Aura.
Let's go aura. Okay.
Let's go Aura.
The worst aura place in Joplin. Oh my goodness gracious. Low-key, Webb City, or Joplin High School. I cannot low-key the high school. They're bums, bro. Yo, bro. CJ represent, bro. I do not like that school either.
I'd have to say either West 7th Street or the abandoned hospital, but I think it's like 20th. There's like an abandoned hospital. Yeah, that's it looks meth ridden to me. So probably there.
I don't actually live in Joplin, but Aura, I don't really know.
Low-key, like, the whole town.
The mall, yeah, the mall's the mall's chopped.
That's true, the mall
Yeah, yeah.
Close it down already.
Yeah, there's like 3 stores left that are like actually thriving. Yeah.
It only thrives because of that Chick-fil-A, though.
Yeah, real.
No, the Chick-fil-A carries. I really gotta agree with Damon. It's 7th Street. Dude, Joplin, do better. It's been like that for so long, and just like, dude, I hate every time driving down there. So honestly, this is gonna be a hot take, but just specifically the billboards and Rangeline, like the amount of advertisement and billboards we have in Rangeline just for like nobody to even go to those places. It's so ugly. I hate it. I'm biased, but so bad. It's so stinky.
The billboard they put at our high school, bro.
The billboard in front of, not Joplin, but the billboard they put in front of our high school for this random home insurance company. So ugly, because it's so pretty out there. It's country fields. It's pretty high school.
Oh my god, bro. There was a perfect field next to our high school, and they decided to put an insurance billboard permanently in the middle of it so that any like student driving, parent, anything, bro.
Yeah, and the amount of sunset pictures, like so pretty, gone. You can never take any more. Random rant, but.
All right, we're done now. We're done there now, bro. Yeah.
Where's the best Aura?
The best aura, dude. Low-key, that Ransided party was kind of crazy.
That was cool.
That was.
But we can't disclose the location.
We can't disclose where that is, but
But that was
the
still
Ransided house party we played, I think that's my favorite. I think that low-key might have been my favorite place. That was so much fun, and that was crazy.
I'd have to think. This might be a hot take. Personally, I've always liked looking down Main Street especially during Third Thursday. That's definitely something that Joplin, that I've always liked about it. I've gone to, I think, every Third Thursday since we started playing last summer, and I've really enjoyed it. It's really cool. A lot of people you've never met, you've never seen, just all on Main Street, and so I really like that. So that's definitely aura for Joplin.
Well, I mean, Mercy Park. This is one of my favorite places. I'll come over here with my girlfriend sometimes, and we'll go for walks just around here, and it's super nice. The fountains are always going, and the noise is always nice, and it's usually pretty clean over here, and like this is one of my favorite places in Joplin.
I guess I have no original thoughts because I'm also going to say Third Thursday because that's pretty cool that we have. That's one of my favorite things. Also, we have some pretty good antique and thrift stores. For me, that's aura. Like, personally, I love our thrift and antique stores. Favorite, like, pastime. Hurts the wallet, but it's so fun.
We have some great local card shops, bro. I got into Magic the Gathering recently. I love some of these card shops they have, bro. I love the community there too, bro. Those are also some good aura spots.
What would you compare your swag to?
My swag, I don't necessarily skateboard, but maybe somebody who does skateboard. Or if I had to compare it to a person, probably Kinda Kermans, who's the drummer for Midriff. He has some really cool outfits, and I sort of style some of my outfits like him.
My swag. Well, I mean, right now I'm wearing like every single color in the rainbow. I think, unfortunately, I dress super white, like very, very white boy. I wear these shorts basically every day. They're just from, I don't even know. There's no brand on them or anything. I just wear bright colors, basically.
My swag? I'd say pretty eclectic. I like sometimes. I don't know. I think clothes should be fun, and like your style should be like fun. So I always just kind of do what I like to wear. I would say, hot take, I really like Emma Chamberlain and her stuff. Sometimes her stuff is a lot. I'd compare it to that sometimes. It depends, but I'd say Emma Chamberlain is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely just eclectic. I thrift everything, so I'd compare my swag a lot to 90s, 2000s, sometimes, yeah. That's where a lot of my pieces are from, so.
My swag? I don't know. I just kind of like I just kind of homeless almost. I guess I don't really know. I kind of just whatever is clean on my floor is what I pick up and I go out and wear. I don't really know what to compare that to. I guess just like bum. I dress like a bum kind of.
What is your guys' songwriting process?
It's embarrassing.
Oh yeah, you get that.
So usually it's based on Thatcher will come up with something and he'll either send it to me through a Google Drive or he'll show me in person, and then it'll be usually me and him in the room and he'll start playing. I can usually come up with a part pretty quickly, but we just have to lock it in for a couple minutes, and then from there I'd say Madeline adds her part or tries to figure out her part, and then of course we add bass to mix it all together. So it's right. Yeah, I think we all contribute to vocals. Me, Thatcher, and Brock a little bit more, I think, from the songs we've written. Vocals is definitely the hardest part. I would say if you're looking to write music, never write vocals before you have a melody, from my personal experience. It's definitely a strenuous process sometimes. When we wrote Caroline, I remember Thatcher changed the lyrics multiple times, even up to before we recorded. So just, and my advice for that is make music you like and don't necessarily steal from other bands. I would say take inspiration, but make music you like and don't just go along with what everybody else is doing, because then it's not your band and you're not going to like what you play.
Kind of circling back to like how we write. Yeah. Back to like the original question. Sometimes it just happens like super impromptu. Me and Thatcher and Damon were just jamming the other day in the cave. That's where we practice, the Crash Cave. Rest in peace, Crash Out. Oh. But yeah, we'll just rehearse in the cave, and sometimes Thatcher came up with a couple riffs that like we all like really enjoy and like we all like playing, and then like I'll just come up with a bass part on the fly. They have to detune their instruments, but I try not to do that because I have a 5 and I don't really have to like detune, so it's really good for me because I didn't want to bring like 47 basses to every show, so I had one for every tune we play. And yeah, so sometimes it happens super slow. It's really painful. Sometimes it's super fast. Sometimes we know exactly what we want in a song, and sometimes it's a mystery until the very end.
Dude, Transformers was crazy fast.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Transformers was crazy fast. Personally, my part takes forever because I just never know what I want to put on top of the song because you guys write killer stuff and they're like, well, I don't know what to add to this. Like, I feel like my part's kind of just like little pixie dust on top of whatever you guys lay down. So my part just takes forever to write. But like our lyrics, man, we talk about getting a DUI and like losing a forklift license. Like some of our lyrics just like, we just have fun with that part, but we love creating instrumental stuff, and that's definitely my favorite part of the process. So yeah.
I feel like for our songwriting, the groove is like the name of the game. We kind of like try to lay down like kind of the basic kind of like grungy groove that we get going, and that normally, like Damon said, I like write the riffs. I'm at home literally every day just fucking around on my acoustic guitar, and I'm just like, we'll see what happens. I'll just go into random tunings. Mostly I'm in drop C these days, but I literally just like, we're just gonna see what happens, and I'm just gonna hit shit, because I would say I am the least trained on my instrument out of the 4 of us, because I kind of just picked it up one year and I was like, you know what, we're gonna see what happens. That, you know, basically that's the songwriting process, but really we're just gonna see what happens. Seeing what happens is kind of fun. I feel like we all have good like musical chemistry. And yeah, like they all said, the hardest part is definitely the lyrics and finding the vocal melody on top of it, because I gotta like, for me at least, because if I'm like lead singer, I gotta write the riff, and then like I gotta figure out what I can physically do while I'm playing to also sing, because I sadly am not as talented to play like polyrhythms and like sing on top of that. So, I mean, yeah, yeah, that's yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You guys having fun?
I'm great time.
What's been your favorite tweaker experience or sighting in Joplin, Missouri?
Say tweaker? I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't actually see that many lately. I'm not usually out and about, but Landreth Park in general is definitely a top one. It's low-key kind of sad because there's a lot of cars with a lot of people sitting in them, especially in the summer. I don't know. That one's a hard one for me. I don't know. I just don't see them very much. I don't hang out in their spaces, I guess. It's a good question for the other people, though, other members. Should they have great stories?
Yeah. What's been your favorite tweaker experience in Joplin, Missouri?
Oh, my favorite tweaker experience. One time I was out at like a LAN party thing, and at like 4 a.m. I left the building to go to my car, and some tweaker was literally dancing to nothing, and they tried to come up to me, and then they started running, so then I ran into the building, and I thought that was hilarious as shit, dude.
My favorite tweaker experience. There's some really cool homeless people who can shred the skate park over at Ewart Park. Is that it? I don't remember where it's at, but yeah, there's some really cool like homeless people over there, and they can rip it. Yeah.
So the first time I ever went to Blackthorn, my mom was a little bit apprehensive, which, you know, that side of town I would be a little bit too. So it was Dawson Bowling and halftime show were playing. I was talking to the band inside, and all of a sudden I see this lady smash her head into the glass and just rub her face in the window. And then I went outside to talk to my buddies, and she was right by Whiskey Dicks, just doing her meth thing. Top 5 Joplin experiences right there. If you've never dealt with a tweaker, specifically one from Joplin, I recommend it. They're different here.
How would you guys infiltrate the local government to perform a coup, and what would you do with your power?
Okay, the local government.
doing this?
Okay, well, this is low-key kind of easy. It's not that hard to get elected in Joplin. I really. Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay.
How do we do this?
I feel like it's really not that hard to infiltrate the local Joplin government because you should see some of the people here, bro. Like, respectfully, like you need like maybe 12 people to back you. It's not that hard. Also, like, what would we do with that? What would we do with the power? I would. You know what? I would try to fix. Like, fix 7th, bro. The road is terrible. I would make another homeless shelter, personally. That's what I would do if I could. Because, like, we have the funding. So, like, give them the house, bro.
I think for me, I don't know.
What would you do with it, bro?
What?
You have the whole world.
Make
another casino.
Yeah, bring a casino to Joplin. Please. Like, no, hold on. We all hate the mall. There's already a building there.
It's a big building.
It's a big building. Hey, yes, it's an idea. It's an idea.
I would vote for Damon. I think. I think that's all I would do.
I guess this is boring, but I put animal shelters, man, like more cat places. Like, that would be fun. And also just like, with my power, I would stop people from like, okay, so we have a problem with this, like a shit ton of like random empty buildings. And then yes, I did just curse.
What?
I'm passionate about this, okay? On the record, we have so many just like empty buildings, but then we feel the need to like break up more land to build new buildings that become random stuff that open for like half a year. So I would stop everyone from doing that and be like, listen, if you really want a building, renovate this one we already have. We don't need any more parking lots. Like, personally.
I got one more thing.
You can bleep this if you want. No more fucking coffee places, please, for the love of God. No, I am so sick of turning on whatever street and seeing a 7 Brew, a Starbucks, a Scooters.
Hey, 7 Brews go to.
Hey, I'm all for like.
Get rid of them.
Okay.
Personal side note, we're all for like small businesses, like small business coffee places.
Yes.
Awesome, like the vibes there are awesome. Like, it's always like, it's so fun there. But like, man, do we need another Starbucks and 7th Brew and like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, you're so right, bro. They keep making, like, they keep renovating new land instead of just taking like what is already available for those new coffee shops. Like the what little like scenery we have in Joplin, they keep taking from us.
We need pavement.
True, bro.
What inspired the name change from Crash Out to Modern?
Give it to me.
That's a Damon. That's a Damon one.
Okay, so it definitely wasn't, and I think it was spur of the moment. I never really liked the name, but we low-key needed a name really quick, and
Came up with the name. I came up with.
yes.
My uncle came up.
I never really liked it, but I just kind of went with it. It was like a couple days after we finished our last recording session, and I was like, whatever would look better on a flyer that is not Crash Out, that's what I want. Because, you know, we would always get the, I'm going to crash out, and that pissed me off so much. It was funny for like the first couple weeks, and then I was like, all right, guys. So I just started writing down like any name possible that I could think of. I had like 10 or 15 on a Google spreadsheet. We met to take
Pictures for the album.
the album cover at Food for Less. Our manager Shane and I and Brock kind of were like, these 4 narrowed it down. I liked Modern View, Shane liked Modern View, and then once we all met up, we were kind of like, is this cool? And everyone was like, sure. So it wasn't really like, you know, I didn't have a reason for picking it. It just was better than the one we had, I think.
What Damon meant to
Yes.
say was it's our modern take on the grunge scene.
Yeah.
That's why we changed our name. Everyone nod.
Yes.
I guess what they're saying is it doesn't have some meaning behind it, just like maybe a little bit, but I mean, I wouldn't even.
just tried to give us some backstory, and you just like said that it was.
Well, okay, listen, listen. Hold up. I mean, yeah. I think
What he said.
I mean, well, I think personally, like, I don't think we're like. I don't know if we have anything super new take, but it's definitely different than what's kind of already here, like what you were saying earlier. There's a huge, like, I guess emo scene here, and we're just kind of doing something a little different in Joplin, so I see what you're saying.
I said yes to Damon, so. Oh god, influences for me. Little story time. Freshman year, I was like, man, these Nirvana guys are pretty cool. I'm gonna pick up the guitar. So then I did such a thing because up until then I only played saxophone. Yeah, so anybody needs a saxophone out there, I can still play. I picked up the guitar and I kept playing for a while, and then just trying to like learn Nirvana stuff, and then I was like, got to a point where I could write stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll just start writing stuff. And at this point now, I feel like just kind of literally the entire grunge scene for me as a writer, like from the 90s, like all of it, like Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, Nirvana, Alice, Pearl Jam, all that stuff, like all that stuff really inspires me because I love the sound so much, and the vocals I think are also all nutty. Right now I'm listening to a lot of Silverchair and Creed. I really like both those bands a lot. Silverchair is also fucking nutty. I really love listening to them. I mean, that's what inspires me. If you see me play a power chord, it's kind of obvious what inspires me, you know what I mean?
So this is sort of like not an underground genre, but not exactly popular anymore. One of my favorite bands is definitely Title Fight. They're like a post-hardcore, shoegazy type of band. R.I.P. Some other ones that really inspire me, Midriff. They're from LA. They're really cool. I like their sound. They're a little bit older than us, which is why I kind of like them, is because, you know, they made it big, so that gives me a little bit of a hope that we could do the same. I guess, I don't know, I guess another one, Narrowhead. They're a little bit more like, I would say like a grunge gaze. They got some really heavy stuff, Moments of Clarity, and specifically Ashtray off of Satisfaction. Really cool bands, check them out.
Yeah, once again, I'm pretty sure we've said it 17 times already, but like shout out to Halftime Show for 20 million times. Yeah. This isn't our interview. This is just the part where we glaze other bands. Shout out to Orient Express in Joplin for giving me a free food all the time and being the best Chinese food in the 4-state area. We were talking about that before. I listen to a lot of music. I really didn't get into the kind of heavier stuff that we play. Actually, before we recorded the entire EP, I have never made that sound in my life. I've never even attempted to scream on a track, and now I'm the screaming guy. I'm the token bass player. I think I get a lot of inspiration from Charles Mingus. He's a jazz composer and bassist, and I like every single one of his tracks. Some bands I've been listening to recently, who have I been listening to recently? I don't even know.
Everything.
I've been listening to Queens of the Stone Age, some Foo Fighters, just everything like everyone listens to, you know. I'm kind of basic. I have my roots in jazz, and I think that's where I picked up bass, was from jazz music, and I think that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from.
Yeah, to second that, I'm also very big jazz person. That's why I picked up bass too. I'd say a lot of the stuff I listen to, like definitely number one, Hiatus Coyote, probably one of my favorites ever. I love their stuff, and their bass player's crazy. I also listen to a lot of just jazz, soul, R&B, so we have like Earth, Wind & Fire, Stevie Wonder, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Woo Park, just all those guys. It's definitely all I listen to, and then of course some jazz stuff. Love Ella Fitzgerald and her stuff. She's all I want to be when I grow up, so shout out to her, rest in peace. So yeah, it's kind of who I listen to.
How would you kill your enemies?
I would, how would I kill my enemies? I would make them watch a documentary on the Joplin tornado for like 10 hours straight. Specifically the shitty Netflix one they just released. That one was low-key so underwhelming, and it was talked up for like months. I would make them watch that over and over, and then probably like, I don't know. Oh yeah, throw them in the falls. Falls have not been mentioned yet, and that's a good place to dispose of the body.
I like kill my enemies with kindness. I don't know. I'm a pretty good shot, but I don't really own a firearm that I can do that with.
Kill my enemies? Are they like my mortal enemies, or just like my enemies in combat, or like my rivals, or like my rivals? Okay, my rivals. Okay. The nicest thing. Oh my. Okay. I don't even know what I could say on camera for that. I guess just let them live in the basement of somewhere and like slowly unfeed them, I guess. I don't really know.
How would you unfeed somebody?
Well, like, you have to feed them when they're living down there, so like, I guess over time you kind of like do less and less food.
That's beautiful. How would you kill your enemies? Thatcher said he would unfeed them.
Unfeed them?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Does that just mean not giving them food? Or pumping their stomach? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the most painful thing, I mean, honestly, just letting them be alone and like solitude or whatever, like what they do in like those intense prisons. I think it's illegal now, but I can't think of the name. Solitary confinement. I think just let them sit there, go crazy. I think it's the best way, because I mean, it's not like you really did anything. They just kind of did to themselves, and they just, I don't know. I think some self-reflection would do some good for my enemies, so give them time to think, you know?
Yeah.